All right, welcome to Main Muscle Meditations. My name is Zach. I'm the owner of Main Muscle, and if you're watching this is the first time I have posted a video like this on YouTube. And if you're a loyal subscriber to this channel, this is the first time I have posted a video like this on this channel specifically as well. This channel is normally Bible passages. It's like an audio Bible type thing, and we're switching that up. This will, moving forward, be like this. I will sit down and talk about things that I have been meditating on in context to growing physically, mentally, and spiritually. And so if you don't know what Main Muscle is a faith-based fitness company that focuses on the main muscle of the body, which is the heart. So we talk about growth physically, mentally, and spiritually. For years, like 6 years, I was an online fitness coach and in-person trainer, and I've kind of transitioned out of that specifically, but I still care very deeply about growing physically, mentally, and spiritually, and stewarding our bodies well. I've done Christian content and the whole thing, and I just feel like there are so many things I have to say and share in context to health and just stewarding our lives well for the glory of God. And so this is now going to be the space where I share those thoughts and things of that nature. And so I'm excited to kind of dive into this. But I want to kind of let you guys in on just a very personal part of my life, because this is something that has led us to this moment where I'm making this YouTube channel and talking about this. So long story short, I am in the process of moving, and it has been extremely difficult. It feels like one thing after another keeps happening that is preventing me from actually moving. And I ended up having this job opportunity early in July, and I'm just gonna read what I wrote, because I wrote it down in a journal. And yeah, this was like at midnight, and so it's just a mess. I said, today I am very stressed about this job opportunity. I got the job, but the pay was a bit low, so we decided to negotiate, and now we will finalize our final offer tomorrow. I fear that I am settling or missing out on what God really has for me. I prayed and opened to Proverbs for wisdom, and Proverbs 6, where I read, Proverbs 6, verses 6 through 7 stuck out to me. Specifically where it says, "Take a lesson from the ants, learn from their ways. Though they have no prince or governor or ruler to make them work, they labor hard all summer gathering food for the winter." It proceeds to say, "But you lazy bag of bones, how long will you sleep?" It's pretty much saying you're broke because you don't work. Now I'm confused because I'm stressed about working for these guys or working to figure out my business. And then I see this part. Ants have no boss, yet they work hard. Does this mean that I should press on, or should I just work for the man? What does God have for me? How can I just know? I trust that He will make it clear. I'm about to sleep now because I work in the morning, but Lord, would you have your way? Reveal to me your purpose and your plan for me, even if it's just a glimpse. Love, Z. Mentally, and I was spiritually frustrated. Like, I literally was praying to God for clarity and advice, and I just wanted Him to help me, because the reason I'm moving to Atlanta is for a ministry opportunity. And so I'm like, okay, God, please give me some advice or help me, because I feel like I'm trying to take this step of obedience, but things keep getting in the way or preventing me from actually moving. And so it's becoming frustrating. And I went through this like couple days. Again, this is beginning of July, but I went through a couple days of just like really starting to process my life. Now at this time when I'm thinking, okay, I have this job opportunity at an advertising agency, we have a creative agency, so I could build this creative business. I had this thing since 2019 that I felt like God put on my heart, Main Muscle, and I have not pursued that because of fear, maybe a lack of faith. Like, I just have not jumped fully in or stepped out of the boat, if you will, when it comes to pursuing after this thing that I feel like God has called me to. And so early July, I'm like journaling, I'm stressed. So I ended up not getting that job at the advertising agency, or they offered me the job and I said no. And then when it comes to the creative agency, again, flash forward to now, me and my business partner just parted ways. So there's no longer the creative agency. And I'm like, okay, God has been working behind the scenes, and He has been opening doors and closing doors, and I'm just now starting to feel peace. I say all that to say, when it comes to growth in life, it is never one-dimensional. Like, I think sometimes as humans, we're like, okay, I want to, lose weight, or I want to have more income, or you want X, Y, and Z, and you set this goal in your head, like, this is the thing, this is the metric of success for me. And then when you go and you reach that goal, or you finally attain it, you realize, oh man, first, I'm not as satisfied as I thought I would be. And second, though I might be better physically, I'm struggling mentally and spiritually. Or though I'm better mentally, I'm struggling spiritually or physically. Like, there's more to life than just one kind of goal. And it's never a linear thing. And so during this season, I have been struggling mentally. I have been frustrated spiritually, but physically, I've been awesome. Like, my health has never been better. And so I just think, like, if you're someone who is going about life and you are struggling in any season, physically you're struggling, mentally you're struggling, spiritually you're struggling, understand that, like, you're not supposed to have it all figured out right now. And the goal of life is to be a good steward of where you are. And I actually just listened to my pastor this past Sunday, and he said that the gospel is not supposed to just like change your circumstances. The gospel is supposed to work in your heart despite your circumstances. And so when we look at, like, oh man, maybe you have lost your job, or you are in a season like me where you're just frustrated and you're trying to navigate a lot of things, or maybe you got a diagnosis or something has happened, your circumstances are unfortunate, or they're just not what you wish they were. The gospel is still working in your life and in your heart. And Jesus still came, he died, he rose again, and he is redeeming the lost, saving the lost. And so when you are struggling and when you're going through these things, first and foremost, take rest in that. Find peace in Jesus, because there's nothing that you can set. There's not a goal. There's not this like one thing that you'll ever attain that's going to actually satisfy the hole that's in your heart. Now that that's out of the way, because that is the foundation of everything, you have to steward this life that God has given you. Like, it doesn't just stop at the gospel. Yes, you're saved through Jesus, but now there are things that you have to steward. It's like the parable where he gives the people the talents, right? He gives the guy like 5 talents, and he goes and digs a hole and saves it, and then when the master comes back, he gives him back what he was given. And the master's like, what? Like, you're supposed to go and do something with this. Like, you were supposed to steward this well, not just store it away and never use the thing that I gave you. God has given you gifts, God has given you dreams, visions, whatever, and he's asking you to steward it. God gave me main muscle, and instead of me going and actually owning that and starting to step out in faith and try to honor God through that business, I waited, and I never did anything because I was afraid. And so when it comes to growth, physically, mentally, spiritually, what you have to do is this. God has given you these things in front of you, right? How can you steward them best? Your body. How can you steward your body well? What does that look like? Does it look like eating more whole foods? Does it look like getting more sleep? Does it look like going to the gym, strength training, right? Like, what does it look like? Write it down. Like, write these things down and go, okay, what are some habits that I can do to try to steward my body well? Okay, second, mental health. When it comes to my mental health, how can I steward this thing well? Limit my screen time. Again, maybe get more sleep. Lay off the caffeine maybe. Journal, process, get around friends, community, share your thoughts, talk about things. Okay, write those things down. Now you have a list of things that you can start to do to steward your body well. Spiritually, if you're struggling spiritually, like for me, I've been frustrated. The best thing I have done since I've been frustrated spiritually is go to God. I had again, my pastor, he was telling me, he's like, Zach, I was telling him I'm frustrated, I'm going through all these things. He's like, Zach, when's the last time you thanked God? Like in Philippians 4, when it says, like, when you're worried, go to God with thanksgiving, and then go to supplication and prayer. But like, have you been thanking God for the things that you have? And I was like, no, I haven't. And so for me, what it looks like right now spiritually is I'm gonna start going to God with thanksgiving. I'm gonna thank him for the things that I already have, the things he's already done, who he is. And then I'm gonna go to him with prayer and supplication. But also, am I reading the Bible? Am I going to church? Am I in fellowship? Like, what do these things look like? You need to figure out the things in your life, take an assessment, examine where you're at in life and the things that are in front of you, and then ask yourself, am I doing these things to the best of my ability and stewarding them well so they glorify God? Like, that is what we need to be doing. Growth will never be this linear thing. It's never one-dimensional. It is the way that your life is as a whole. Like, your whole life, you are going to be going through growth. You're going to be going through seasons and times where things are hard. Guess what? On the other side of that, there's going to be fruit. That means you're growing. Like, you can't just say, man, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to make all this money. I'm going to be on top of the world spiritually. And like, boom. No, it's not like that. What's gonna happen is you're gonna set these goals in your mind, like, oh, I'm gonna grow, I wanna improve physically, mentally, spiritually, and then something's gonna happen in life because it's life and it's unfair, and then you're going to have this choice. Am I going to be a victim of my circumstances, or am I going to stand on the real foundation, the truth of Jesus and the gospel, and then am I going to look at my circumstances and my surroundings and steward them well to honor and glorify Him? And am I going to apply wisdom, right? We have the book of Proverbs, we have the Bible. There's so much to be found in there that is practical that you can start to implement in your life right now. But if you just get frustrated and you just give up and you just quit and you're like, man, it's too hard, I'm going through all these things, I'm never gonna make it, I'm not improving, like, you're missing the point. I'll end with this. The past like 3.5 years of my life have been hard. And I'm not just saying that. I feel like I'm 24 years old and I don't know if I've been through a harder season than the past like 3.5 years. But I can tell you this, though I have been probably at my lowest these past 3.5 years, I know that spiritually, mentally, physically, I'm coming out stronger than I came in. Like when I started the 3.5 years, I did not have near as much fruit as I do now. And so sometimes in life, when you feel like you're at your lowest, you're actually closer to God. You're actually starting to grow. John 15 talks about the pruning process. When we are being sanctified and we're starting to bear fruit of the Spirit, we have to go through this process where God's cutting back branches. There are things in your life that may be, having to get shaken up a little bit. Some things have to get cut off for you to start to actually grow. And so press into these seasons when things are hard and you just feel like, oh my gosh, like, everything's around me sucks, physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, whatever it is. Press into Jesus and then steward the things that are in front of you well, all to glorify Him, and I promise you, you're going to start to grow. You're going to start to grow. This isn't about prosperity. I'm not saying that your life is going to be fantastic, you're going to have millions of dollars, you're going to be the healthiest you've ever been, because things happen in life. But I can tell you this, if you don't take action and if you don't sit around and try to be a good steward of the things that you have in front of you, you're not going to get better. All right, my camera overheated, so I'm going to try to finish this really fast. But when it comes to walking through life and you're trying to grow physically, mentally, and spiritually, here's what I would do. I would get a sheet of paper, I'd get your notes app, and I would go physical, mental, and spiritual. I'd list them out. And then under each one, I would go, what are things I can do, disciplines or habits that I can implement to grow in these areas? So physically, go to the gym, diet, 8 hours of sleep. Mentally, journal, get in community, limit my screen time. Spiritually, go to church, read the Bible, pray. Like, list out just things that you can start to implement and then start doing those things. Actually take ownership and accountability of your life and start to apply these things. Start to be someone who is disciplined, who stewards their body well, and watch as your life starts to improve. Now, at the same time, understand that life is going to happen and things are going to get hard sometimes. You're going to face trials, you're going to face tribulations of many kinds, and these are times when you get to exercise your faith and really trust in Jesus, that He is the firm foundation, and that on the other side of this trial, of this tribulation, you're going to bear more fruit, you're going to look more like Jesus, and you're going to have stronger faith. You're going to come out on the other side with more faith in Jesus and with more hope and with more fruit, peace, love, joy, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness, self-control. Like, this is what it's about. It's, yes, steward your body well so you can grow physically, mentally, and spiritually, but ultimately these things of the world are going to fade. So yes, be healthy, honor your body, go build some muscle, like, take care of yourself. But at the end of the day, realize that you're not here to just have a good body. You're ultimately here to have a heart that is longing for Jesus and pursuing after Him with everything that you have, and to obey His commands, to follow Him, to listen to His Spirit, and let His Spirit lead your life. But also remember that there are practical things that you should be doing to steward your body well. So many people are like, oh, well, what good is it to profit the world but lose your soul? Well, it's like, no, trust in Jesus and your soul is saved, but also, like, you need to be a good steward and you need to grow physically, mentally, spiritually. Like, bro, if you want to have a family, you need to be taking care of your finances a little bit. Like, don't be lazy. Steward the things around you well. I hope this helps you guys. Again, this is just something that I have been chewing on a lot here recently, and so yeah, I'm gonna start posting these way more consistent. I really just want to share more like raw, authentic thoughts, things that I've been journaling and kind of processing. And so this is the first one. Let me know if you guys have anything you want me to talk about as well in the comment section. And if you guys have any prayer requests or anything, let me know. And yeah, I love you guys.